It's recording. Okay. Thank you all very much for coming to the task group 96 of the CIB. My name is Mohammed Dulaimi. I'm one of the coordinator, and my co-coordinator, Dr. Taha Al-Haj. I'm sure you're all familiar with him now. And I would like to share with you what the task group is doing, and I would like to encourage you to join the task group. I'll share with you what we've done, what's all about. Okay. So why did we establish this particular group? Some people may say that's not a fair slide. Okay. But if you look at this slide, can you see the slide?
Yes, we can see it. You can make it a presentation mode.
Okay, I'll do that. The problem is sometimes it takes over the whole. Okay, as you can see from the slides, on the right-hand side, how the way we used to calculate, things has progressed over last, I don't know, 1,000 years, 2,000 years. Same with transportation. Look at construction, how we used to build and how we're building now. It just shows, again, I think it's not, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but to a certain extent, our clients, our stakeholders may point out that the leap in which other sectors have achieved, we are still struggling with the basic concept of construction. So that's one of the things I'm trying to argue, that we need to accelerate innovation. It's no longer about delivering innovation, but accelerating innovation. I want to show you this diagram. It's from the CIB. Look at the curve. The curve is the number of homes being built, new homes being built, compared to the growth in population. You can see that our capacity and capabilities are no longer a match to the needs of society, and therefore incremental improvement in performance, or even any significant improvement in performance of our industry, is not going to be enough without a radical change in our products, our processes, in strategies, and even our business models. I'd like to share this with you. I picked it up from a number of newspapers. The one in the middle, I share with my students who are doing MSc in project management, and it scares them. And it says that 80% of what project managers are doing today, by 2030, it will be done by AI. Okay. Does it mean that we are not going to need project managers? No, it means that we need a new role to emerge from project management to deal with this. Also, that the pace of the competition, we always looked at the competition in the construction industry is coming from within. And I think many people still believes that. We can see evidence that the competition is going to come to us from outside construction. Look at the right-hand side, where BMW is using its own knowledge and skills of how to design facilities for users in small spaces, to think about building a new apartment. And on the left-hand side, Mercedes-Benz, they they teamed up with an organization that has absolutely nothing to do with making cars, but they have capabilities in terms of contactless. Sorry, that's no, that's in terms of batteries. The other one, I think it was another car company, and they were looking at contactless control in a car. And what they did is they sought support from outside their own sector. But that one is an example where they wanted to look at how solar energy could be enhanced through the use of battery technology. So what I'm saying is we are running a risk of our clients ditching the traditional industry for someone else who's capable of understanding their needs, and hence the case for accelerated innovation. So the tipping point that's going to lead to an accelerated pace of innovation is to look at the existing technology. Someone like me using a mobile phone, I'm certain I'm not using more than 20-30%. Okay, a realization of our stakeholders that the technology that exists, our industry is only able to tap a fraction of what's capable of doing. That's going to create a significant drive. So the emergence of new roles, and today a number of presenters in the morning, Mark and Bilal, both of them, were talking about new roles, and I think the answer from Bilal, where he said labels may remain, but the meaning of those labels may change. Okay, so that is going, in my view, is going to be the tipping point for the transformation of the construction industry. That's why TG96 was set up. Taha and I, 3 years ago, I think, we set up the task group to promote research and the development of research agenda that focus on increasing the pace of innovation that the industry is capable of delivering. Okay, what's the task group, which I'm hoping that you guys will be excited about and supporting it and joining it. We want to create a research network and create a forum like this one, where we identify what are the agenda for research, and then at your own university, at your own institution, you start, picking up different topics, different projects, and the cumulative work and collaboration will help us to progress our knowledge. We want to see where are the relevant theories. We know about theory of innovation, we know about theory of management, we know about theory of leadership. Try to search for theory of accelerating innovation. You'll find very little. And this is one of the main challenging, and I hope some of you will tell me differently, but I find that this is one of the challenging parts of our research. So one of our objectives also is to identify, in this case, research priorities so that we can maybe collaborate in research teams and attract further resources, further funding, to be able to achieve significant progress in our research. And of course, disseminating our research findings, just like this conference, and hopefully that enable us to promote this topic, this agenda, and encourage and motivate further effort to develop knowledge and progress that this particular research. What we've done so far, we've done conferences, we developed special issues in a number of journals. We've been planning construction summits, but as you can tell that because of the pandemic, this conference was supposed to be last year or even the year before. But we keep thinking that next year is going to be different and we'll be able to have a physical conference. So that was changed. So what we want is any opportunity, any idea where we share the knowledge, disseminate the knowledge, and engage key players in this particular field. So what I want to see from you guys contribution is what do you think the issues that we should be considering as a research group? What's your understanding? It's not only Mohammed and Taha talking about this. What's your understanding about the dynamics of construction that impacts the pace of innovation? Would you share with us what you think may be relevant theories and models to help us understand accelerating innovation? Are you aware of similar research groups? Then could you suggest activities we should be doing? And finally, we have a group on LinkedIn, but please email me if you're a member of the CIB or your organization is a member of the CIB. Then you can join TG96. So you can email me or email Dr. Taha and we can add you up. I'll stop here because really this is about you talking and expressing your views. Any comments about anything I've said, and specifically this list you see in front of you?
Hi, Professor Mohammed.
Yes. Hi.
Okay. Can I talk?
Yes, you can.
Okay. Today, we realize there is a gap between different trade. We see Mark talking about digital twin, and Dr. Bilal, he's talking about BIM. Where if we consider a collaboration work and including operation, okay, so we can reach out to a model or business model that we can sell it to the client. Okay, we can provide him a cost-saving model that he can adopt them and adapt digital twin when he can realize on real time that how much he made saving why he'll consider this new business model.
Ahmed, you put your finger on an important topic, and I think Ali is with us. Yes, Ali is with us. Ali is doing his PhD. One of the main issue in his PhD is business models, because construction companies would not consider changing and adopting an innovation if it does not make sense as far as their business model is concerned. Ali has hands up. He's the expert. Ali.
Hi, everyone. Thank you very much for mentioning me. It's true. And as Professor Mohammed kindly mentioned in the presentation, I've investigated a lot through literature, and really, it is really hard to notice all of those theories looking at accelerating innovation, and not only that, but also sustaining innovation. So that's two very important and also interconnected ideas that are really understudied in current or existing literature. Sustaining innovation is also a very important aspect, since I'm looking now at the modern method of construction and looking at how popular those methods were in the 70s, and then suddenly those just disappeared and re-emerged now again to be popular again, and we are hearing about those methods again, and we are hearing about this buzzword MMC, changing environment, transforming the construction industry to offsite, more controlled environment. This isn't new, but somehow before this this wasn't sustained as an innovation, so it underpinned its ability to be adopted widely back then, which now we are seeing it reappear. So sustaining innovation, and it is really, I don't know, Professor Mohammed, if you agree with me, so sustaining innovation is really as accelerating innovation in some way, and they are interconnected.
There's okay, I'll comment on that, Ali, but I would like to give space for others. Anyone, please share your what's your yes, Taha.
Yes, I think there are two main issues. Theoretically, the academics as well as the R&D in organizations in practice in the industry, they can see, or they can advocate the benefits of adopting innovative solutions. The problem is, in practice in the industry, they seem not to see that. And that's why in some of the presentations today and many other publications, they evaluate and assess the challenges and the barriers for adopting all these innovative solutions and digitalization of the sector. So here we have this dilemma. The industry and the practitioners, they won't take on or buy in something they don't see the rate of return of it. And there is 2 points here. The capital invested as compared to the whole life costing. And here, if we make savings in the whole life benefits cost analysis, but need that capital to be invested, we also face a problem. We also face another barrier. So we need to resolve this issue so that it will be convincing for the industry to adopt innovative solutions and to increase the pace of innovation.
Thank you very much, Taha. I would like to invite others. This is, I'd like, if possible, each one of you guys, even for a few seconds, just say what comes to your mind. What do you think we should be doing? Where we should be looking at? Anyone? No? Okay.
Okay, I have another issue.
Yes.
We also have the theories of innovation and the involvement and development in these theories, and how applicable these theories would be and suitable and appropriate for different aspects of the construction sector. As a task group, we also need to look at that and map that kind of relationships between these theories, but for innovation, and how we can adapt that and develop it to also work for the accelerating innovation at the same time. So this is another dimension we need to look at.
Thank you very much. I think I was going to say, because Ali mentioned sustaining innovation, and I was tempted to say these are two different and they are different because on one side, you're looking about ensuring that continuously you are delivering innovation. But the other side, you're talking about accelerating innovation. However, the components, looking at the construct, the conceptual framework that could help us understand how to sustain innovation, may help us understand how we can actually accelerate innovation. So and now I'm linking it to what you said, Taha, by looking at the general theory of innovation that explain the dynamics that delivers innovation, and then thinking about how we can synchronize the different ecosystem, because that's what it is. We were talking, who was talking this morning about ecosystem? One of the keynote speakers this morning was, I think it was Mark, and the ecosystem consists of a number of subsystems, maybe related to design aspect, production aspect, commercial aspect, and then you understanding that relationship between them and achieving that harmony. Then we can think about how that could help and influence the pace in which innovation is delivered. The reason we're saying this is going back to some of the slides is, however, Ghassan was telling us that 35 years ago they developed BIM, and it was almost 30 years later that governments start mandating it in order for it to happen. Now, as we look at some of the digital tools, some of the smart solutions that deals with energy, for example, in other sectors, are we going to wait another decade or so to realize it? So we are faced with a big challenge here.
Can
Yes.
I comment on this one? Return back to the business model. There is a new concept, they call it business model canvas and value proposition, where you need to approach the client and understand his needs, okay? And actually you construct and build your solution. And this was successful with us during pandemic, okay? When the client was facing trouble with the finance and he need to reduce the cost. And we return back with innovative solution about considering condition-based maintenance instead of preventive maintenance. And we reduced the cost, we reduced the manpower, and the client was, he got cost saving. And this is a new concept, was applied in different trades, and it was successful. I think the construction, they need to do the same to consider this business model when they are approaching the clients.
Thank you very much, Ahmed. I think in times of crisis, the construction industry works well. I mean, we double down and we start developing some innovative solutions. But again, it brings the issue of sustainability. So when the financial crisis hit in 2008, yes, there was significant redundancies and there was mayhem. But after a while, when it settled, the construction industry started coming with solutions to clients. Again, it was driven by their business model. Because they can see that they can't win more business if they do not change their practices, their processes, and even their tools. Do you think, coming back to the last 2 points, what would you suggest would be useful activities the task group should consider? I mean, Taha and I we are considering a conference in 2023, okay? which is not next year. Next year is the World Congress, the CIB World Congress. So that's in Australia. And maybe the year after we'll consider a conference. Is there something else you think we should be doing as a task group? I'm conscious of the time. We have 10 minutes more. Would you like to suggest an initiative or an activity for a task group? Because this is, Taha and I are coordinators. The task group is you. So we need to listen to you.
I think we need to emphasize the urban digital twin. And according to data study, I think next 5 years, there will be a number of cities who adopt digital twin, urban digital twin. Like Singapore, they already paid 70 million only to buy a software that build a replica to the city where they can manage services plus making savings, which is the cost is most important now for everyone.
Okay, I think Dubai is doing it. UK is doing it. You've heard from Mark today. And I think Ali also in his speech he mentioned, he kept emphasizing city, smart city, digital city. So yes, that's a good point. Thanks Ahmed. In terms of activities, do you think there's something that we can do online more frequently that can support research, can encourage collaboration? Any suggestions? Or you're tired, you want to go home now? Well, go home. You want to switch off. Okay. All right.
If I may, Mohammed, sorry, very quickly,
yes,
my
please.
apologies. Hi. Thank you very much, first of all, to everyone, and especially both of you, Taha and you. It's been a fantastic event, so well done on that one. Can I just make a very quick thing that in terms of activities, maybe you could just build some type of like collaborative networking event between people, because it's been such an international event. People from all over the world are attending the conference. So you've put the LinkedIn group, which is a good thing, to be honest, but if it could be some platforms that we could just exchange ideas after the conference and then take it forward, I think that would be a great idea, because there are so many interesting ideas, presentations, that you get the feeling that you really need to talk to the authors and then just take it forward. I think that type of activity, an informal activity, which could lead to ideas for the 2023 conference that you have in mind, hopefully.
Great idea. Can I suggest you guys go to LinkedIn and search for the Accelerating Innovation in Construction and join, because that will be an excellent ready-made platform. SN42. Sorry,
Hi, my name is Sundar.
Hi.
I'm actually a PhD scholar from Heriot-Watt, UK.
Hi.
But I'm based in India. Now, one of the biggest challenges which I see in adopting innovation is actually in those countries where the labor force is more. So they are more reluctant to adopt technology because of a lot of issues, like the fear of losing jobs, or being redundant and things like that. So unless those areas are tapped, the innovations would be focused only on a very select region, and the gap will actually increase. So maybe some way to reach out to these kind of areas where where the labor force is because of the excessive labor force, they are reluctant to adopt technology.
Okay.
I don't know.
I would like to challenge this, if you don't mind, because years ago, 20 years ago, Singapore said our problem when it comes to innovation in construction is because we have cheap labor. and they tend to be imported. And therefore, they were calling on the government, or actually the government was saying, we'll put extra taxes on and fees on bringing labor from outside Singapore. But it goes back to the business model. If contractors' business model is all driven by reduced low-cost resources, then they will continue to be looking for, as someone used to say, instead of bringing a new digging machine, you bring 20 people with shovels, okay, and you pay them a fraction of the cost of that digger, okay, and they will do the job. But if you change that business model, if you change the paradigm, the way, the thinking of the industry, then they will not think that cheap labor will help them achieve their goals. So it is back to the business model. Otherwise, as you said, there will always be labor that is very cheap to import compared to investing in new technology. But a very important point. Thank you very much. Any further comments? Taha, you're muted. Taha. You're muted, Taha.
Sorry, I was muted.
No worries.
Okay, I just want to add a comment here. When we talk about the business model and changing the business model or changing the thinking, there are drivers for that. If the practitioners and the industry don't see the benefits, or either reducing total duration or decreasing costs or increasing profit margins, these kind of criteria and factors, if they don't see these kind of benefits, it will be very difficult for them to change and adopt innovation, which is going to cost them more, and not seeing the other side of the benefits. If maybe it is going to cost more, but the quality is going to be better and improved. The health and safety will also enhance. The risks will be mitigated. So they need to see these type of benefits to change the business model. Otherwise, it will be very difficult for them to make this decision.
I mean, thanks, Taha. As I said earlier today, we preach the virtues of innovation because we're still trying to convince the industry that innovation makes sense, but our agenda is accelerating the pace of innovation. I just want to mention thanks to Ali, who put in the chat the link to the LinkedIn group for accelerating innovation in construction. I'm conscious of the time. We'll have an opportunity tomorrow at the end of the conference to talk about, not about the TG, but the wider issue, the ideas that emerged from the conference. I think it's something we should not lose today and tomorrow. We're exploring ideas, we're sharing ideas. I want us at the end of the conference to have the opportunity to say, this is what I have come up with, and we can put those ideas together, hopefully, for future initiatives. Thank you all very much for your time. Tomorrow we're starting 9:30. Very interesting. We have Bilal, but we also have Project Roger Flanagan early tomorrow morning, 9:30. So please be there on time. Okay, thank you all very much, and good night. Or good morning if you're in Australia.